is 10 o'clock, Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. I call this meeting to order to discuss the furnace failure at the Murray shop. What have you got for us, Ms. Stutsky?
So all of our shops have a main heating unit and then a couple of support units. In the Murray shop, their furnace is very old. No one could find any documentation where we could secure a date. That's how old it is. I mean, it's been there since the beginning of time. It is an oil burning furnace, or I should say was an oil burning furnace. It has just completely worn through to the point where it's not functioning and would not be safe to use.
Okay.
They do have a couple of smaller support units which are diesel powered, and we're looking to try to get away from those. Those are not efficient enough to heat the entire shop. They just will not, and they're expensive. I mean, we had this discussion when we talked last year about the furnace failure down in Marble Creek, and that purchase has been very efficient. The reason that I'm coming to the board is that this would be a capital purchase for our department, and this obviously was not planned. We didn't plan for the furnace to fail, and so I'm coming to the board to ask permission to make a capital purchase and discuss how that would look within our budget, or if we would be opening up the budget to use cash. Price-wise, we did reach out to a couple of companies to get some quotes, estimates, so we'd have an idea what we're looking at for price. We reached out to North Star Clean Concepts. We had a very good experience with them. They're the ones who supplied the heater for the Marble Creek shop. They can do it. Price on the unit itself would be $13,595. We would need, it would not be compatible with the venting system that is currently in place at the Murray shop, so it would require the new vent stack. And they did list some install prices should we use that. Down in the other shop, we opted to not do the full install rate, and our crews assisted in the install. So that would be a way that we could look at that. All in for this particular unit through North Star Clean Concepts, if we went with install, it would be $18,090. That would not be all of the cost. We would need to have an electrician come in and do some wiring, because this is not 120 compatible. This unit we would need to have rewired. We reached out to several companies. The only other quote, they seemed very anxious to work with us out of Spokane, was More Heat Waste Oil Heating Solutions. Their unit would be $10,800 for a comparable unit. It would be compatible with our venting system that we already have, and this would run off of our current electrical setup that we have. So costs would be lower, $10,800. There would be a shipping charge of $466. This would be something I talked with the supervisor about. We have this discussion a lot. A lot of times when we purchase out of Washington, they do not honor the tax exempt if we pick up in person. If we pick up in person, then that is it's a Washington state purchase, that the full transaction is happening in Washington state. Therefore, they will charge us sales tax. If they ship it across state lines into Idaho, then the tax exempt status comes into play, but then we look at shipping. So we balance the tax versus the shipping. Shipping on this would be $466, bringing this quote all in price $11,266.
That's with install?
That would be us performing the install.
And this one just fits right in there and fits up to the same electrical, like you said, and the same venting, so there wouldn't be really
Correct.
much of a
Both companies have extended deep discounts to us. North Star extended a $2,100 discount. It's similar to the discount they extended on the Marble Creek unit, and that is basically throwing in the vent stack kit for free. More Heat just took a $2,000 discount off of their suggested retail pricing for us.
And both of these are, what, waste oil systems?
Correct.
And are they the same BTU output? Are they?
Very close, very comparable. The More Heat is 320,000 BTU, and the North Star is, I think it was 330. $325,000 BTU.
Okay.
So very, very close, very comparable. Both would be very efficient.
Now the dilemma. So you would pay for this out of capital, but you don't have anything in capital.
Right. So I brought a copy of our budget just to kind of get it in front of you. I only brought one, so I'll just push it over for you guys. Our capital line is here. So we have only allocated capital money for heavy equipment, capital money for trailer, capital money for light vehicles. So we didn't budget. There's no pre-planned budget in capital.
In that state of Idaho funds that we have, that goes for road maintenance only and stuff like that, right? The funds that we have on hand.
That goes to anything to do with the operations of the road department. So we can put that into our road department facilities.
Okay.
We wouldn't be able to put it into, say, this building, but we can put it into our shop buildings. Anything that would allow us or help us assist us in maintenance.
So we could use that on this building,
Correct.
On that heater.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're not asking to take from the general fund.
Mm-hmm.
We would be doing this within our road department
Yep.
funding.
Within that fund from the state that they
Correct.
allocated extra for you. Okay.
Correct.
And what would we need to do that?
We can do it a few ways. We're early, and this was kind of a discussion that we need to have together. We're early on in our budget.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, what I'd like to do is just have you guys approve for the purchase of us to purchase out of that capital line.
Mm-hmm.
And then we expend less out of the other lines. However, that's difficult to do 1 month into the fiscal year. We can't project what might come up. As far as options, you could open the budget. It's early in the year to do that. And I know the county likes to avoid going in multiple times and doing it. I don't know if it can be, if the decision can be that it will be funded with the road department funding, and we can reconvene later in the year to decide if the budget needs to be officially opened to the public. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I would tend to think that we could probably do that and just watch that line item to make sure that if it does go over, then we need to revisit that at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe we would looking at doing that sometime maybe around August,
Okay.
because we should have a pretty good idea what we're going to be shaping up like for the rest of the year.
So just a motion then to approve purchase out of capital for now.
Correct.
You good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Well, are you okay with the lower bid on this one? Think
Yes.
that gets the job done?
I do.
I mean, that's a significant amount of savings there, $7,000 or
And they
so.
make their own there. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Did they make their own there, the heater?
You're exactly right. They do. And that's one of the pluses that we saw to this, was that they make their parts. Parts come directly from their location in Spokane.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's a plus.
Mm-hmm. And both have, one thing we didn't talk about, both have the same warranties. So it's not like one has a better warranty than the other one.
So almost a $7,000 savings.
Correct. Well, most likely more because we are cutting out having to change the configuration of our electrical.
Yeah, that's true. Well, if you're ready for a motion,
Sure.
I'll motion that we authorize the purchase of the new heating system from
More
More
Heat.
Heat for $11,266 out of the capital expense.
I'll second it.
Okay, does that work for you, that
That
motion?
sounds great.
Okay, any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, any further comment on that before I open it for public?
I don't think so, just
No.
thank you.
Well, that beats his idea of a burn barrel, so. Public comment?
Just, it's a blower, there's a blower on this. I can't believe a blower would run on 110 for 350,000 BTU.
So I do, and I've got a copy of this, Matt. I'd be happy to. Actually, I don't have an extra copy. If you would like, I can throw this on the copy machine down in the office and
No,
get you
that's
this
all
right
right, yeah,
after.
just like I said, I know
Mhm.
110 doesn't power a very big
No.
blower.
Yeah. Any other comment?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, then, do you have anything further?
No.
That we are adjourned and
Okay.
you can proceed to heat the shop.